Hey guys, it's Rob here, and today, I think it's time for some transparency, so let's just go and get right into it. So, for you guys that are wondering what's been happening with the animatronic, well, I will tell you, this right down here at the valve bank level is pretty much what I've been trying to do. So, let me explain what I mean exactly for y'all who do not know what I'm talking about. Okay, so firstly, I was trying to, since I'd rebuilt all the super problematic cylinders that were just, having actual issues, I wanted to try and get a cable connected so, that I could connect it to the bit stripper and be able to, do some performances with what I've got. But, I will say right now, it does not work properly. So I got all of this wired up, so, yeah, I connected it here and then connected it to the valves, and then I even got this connected through multiple wire nuts to the valve bank. But, it doesn't work. For some reason, what happens is, I'll plug it in, and I'll go through the movement cycle, because, the bit stripper has these buttons that allow you to cycle through the movements. So, it does not activate a movement automatically. It will just, like, if you press it down manually, and it's activated, that movement, then it will stay activated, and if it deactivates automatically, then yeah, it'll deactivate. But that's all it'll do. It will not activate a movement automatically, and I have no clue why. So, I've tried troubleshooting a bit, it does not work, so yeah, that's just kind of been something not fun to deal with, but that's not the only issue. I've also been trying to get a setup where I can get hosing on both sides so that the airflow is equal. That also has not been working out very well because the T-connector, even with clamps, is leaking air. And before you say, oh, go buy another T-connector, I did. This is the new one. The other one was actually causing the hoses on both of these sides to not be able to go in all the way because of how close everything was. This should have fixed it. It didn't. So, yeah, really, I'm at a point where I've got these issues with the valve bank. I'm not being able to progress, so honestly, at this point, I think the best thing to do is just not even bother and get a new one, which is what I'm doing. I'm under the process currently of buying a valve bank from somebody. It's not a Mac valve bank, even though that would be cool. I think it's going to be similar to this. It's going to be all set up for me. I'm not going to have to worry about setting it all up by myself, because clearly I am not in a place to do this by myself. I just don't think I have the expertise. And yeah, and that's not the only issue that's kind of been stressing me out a bit. I've also been having issues with both sides of the arm cylinders. So for some reason, they're leaking air now. And I'm not really sure why this is happening. Like, I know the barb fittings might not be on, I mean, they are on correctly, but I did rebuild these cylinders, so I may not have the exact thing that should be on it. But, like, still, it's kind of weird that they're leaking because I even put new hosing on, and it's the right size, so yeah. The only thing I can think of is maybe the barb fittings are just angled in a way that it's coming loose a little bit. So what I'm doing, I've bought some push-to-connects, and I think that will solve the issue, because then, even if it's angled, it should not come loose and leak air. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that's not really a huge issue. It should be fixed if I can do that, but yeah. My main issue has just been this valve bank. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to just, stuff like this is going to stop. Like, I'm not going to work on this anymore. Like, I'm done with the valve bank. I'm going to be replacing it because at this point, I'm not being able to get the results that I'm desiring. I'm having issues. And so, yeah, I'm just going to have someone else do it. And I will be selling this one off eventually. So, I mean, I don't think any of y'all want it, but, I will be trying to sell it within, I don't know. It'll probably be a good few weeks at least. We'll see. It depends on when I get this new valve bank. But yeah, so I'm probably going to be working on stuff like cleaning the shelves, which I already have been doing some of. And just doing other stuff, which, speaking of which, I am also going to be working on rebuilding this body lane, because it's been having issues working properly. And I do know that it probably requires a good bit of like, you know, PSI in order to work. I've been getting to high PSIs though, and it has been having issues working even when I just flows. So yeah, I'm just gonna rebuild it. It's gonna be, you know, not fun because this entire middle portion of the body is going to have to lay out somewhere, probably here. I'll just move this valve bank down. But yeah, so I am gonna work on rebuilding that body loom soon as I get the parts in, because I do not want to have him just laying out for a while. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for that, and that's yeah. I just kind of wanted to make this update video because yeah, I wanted to be transparent, tell you guys that yeah, not everything's going super well, and I'm having to make some changes, and you know that's okay because this is a old animatronic. Like, this is a 40-year-old animatronic, one of the first technically. If it's from Antwine, it's like the 22nd Dook / Pasqually ever, so it's cool, but it's also really old and has, you know, issues, so we'll work on that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video though.